Hey, how you guys doing? This is well, it's something I've always wanted to do is talk about sports. You know, normally when I talk about things on my radio podcast, I talk about social justice and I talk about politics. But this time around, I want to talk to you about the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboy rivalry. Now, I know we got a lot of people around watching all across the country, specifically in Richardson, Texas. Shout out to those people in Richardson, Texas. But I want to go ahead and spend a couple of minutes talking to you about, well, my favorite topic. Yep, outside of politics, is sports. And this is my garage. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? Well, this time, I want to talk to you about, well, the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins football rivalry. Now, I have on my favorite jersey, the Dallas Cowboys. How about that? Now, why would a grown man have a teddy bear? Well, it's a Dallas Cowboy teddy bear. Can't go wrong with that. Except when you have a Washington Redskins teddy bear as well. That's it. That's it. I want to spend a couple of minutes talking to you about how we got to this point where these two teddy bears collided. And we had that great Washington Redskins Dallas Cowboy rivalry. Now bear with me for a couple of minutes. It's just going to be a couple of minutes. This is history, but nevertheless, it's sports history. So what we're going to talk about is how far back we want to go. We don't want to talk about the Washington Commanders today and the Dallas Cowboys. That's not a rivalry. But you know this dichotomy. I've always wanted to use that word dichotomy. Dichotomy, when you have differences. So you have those differences between Cowboys and Redskins. And I've always loved the fact that we had two mascots that were black who were playing a cowboy and a black man playing an Indian. I was always amazed that all of America saw that and they said, hey, look, I'm down with it. They didn't see any color. They didn't see any racism. All they saw was people just having fun. But damn it, that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have some fun. How about some football? How about them Dallas Cowboys? They won today. But what about the Washington Commanders? And how do we get to the fact that we have the Dallas Cowboys playing right now? Well, of course, we haven't won a Super Bowl in some time. But nevertheless, we will be back. So let's go way back to the 1950s. To the 1950s when there were no Dallas Cowboys. There was another team that existed here in Dallas. It was the Dallas Texans of the NFL, who later became the Indianapolis Colts. Well, in between they were the Baltimore Colts. But more about that later. And before someone tries to fact correct me, keep in mind that team played in 1953. Not to be confused with the 1960 version. They played here from 60 to 62. They played in the AFL. Because, you know, Lamar Hunt, he's a rich guy. He's a rich guy and he wanted to buy a football team and bring it here. So first he tried to buy the Chicago Cardinals. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Before you guys start saying Arizona. Nope. Before they were Arizona. You know, they was in Chicago. Chicago Cardinals, they moved to St. Louis. Became the St. Louis Cardinals in 1960. In 1960. So this is where this whole sordid story comes in. Yes, there's a little racism involved in this, but more about that later. So they wanted Clint Murchison, who was so rich, just like Jerry Jones rich now. This guy had an island in the Bahamas. An island in the Bahamas. And he wanted to bring a sports franchise here. But, you know, they said no. They said no. So Clint Murchison couldn't get a sports franchise. Lamar Hunt decided he couldn't get a sports franchise, tried to get the same Cardinals. They moved, like I said before, to St. Louis. He couldn't get a franchise, so he created his own football league. Well, Clint didn't create his own football league. But what he did do was he tried to buy, surprise, the Washington Redskins. Didn't happen. William Preston Marshall, who was a racist. There you go, yeah, they're going to bring racism into it. William Preston Marshall, who was a racist. I got first-hand information. Charlie Taylor told me this as well. And he played with the Washington Redskins. Was the second person to be there. So then what ended up happening is that Clint Murchison tried to buy the Washington Redskins, could not buy the Washington Redskins. Couldn't buy it. William Preston Marshall backed out of the deal. They had a signed deal agreement that the Washington Redskins would be coming to Dallas. But then, lo and behold, Clint says, well, if you can't give me that team, I will go ahead and accept a franchise team. Because by that time, the NFL was like tripping out because they were like saying, Lamar Hunt's here. He's going to have a football team in Dallas. But we got to put a team here, so we got to come up with a team. So they came up with the Dallas Steers. No, I said it right. The Dallas Steers, that's what this team was going to be named first. That's right, the Dallas Steers. Didn't work. So anyway, they wanted to bring the Dallas Cowboys in. But in bringing the Dallas Cowboys in, they needed everybody in the NFL to vote for the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, what should I say? The Dallas Steers coming here to Dallas. They were missing one vote. Who? Who, you may ask? They came from this guy. Well, not the bearer, but the guy who actually owned the team. William Preston Marshall. So William Preston Marshall owned the Washington Redskins, and the Dallas Cowboys couldn't get in the NFL. Now you say, well, what the hell they got to do with me? Well, I wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it goes. If I buy the rights to the Hail to the Redskins song, you can't play it at your football games. That's what happened. Clint Marshall decided to buy the rights to Hail to the Redskins, Hail to the Redskins, fight for ODC. The South. Wait a minute, hold on again. That's bad singing, but nevertheless, I think you get the point. Fight for ODC, they changed it from fight for Old Dixie to fight for ODC. Yeah, they changed that. But nevertheless, that's what happened. The Dallas Cowboys, or should I say the Dallas Steers football team, owned the rights to the Washington Redskins football. Yeah, Washington Redskins football. And Mr. Marshall got all upset because he loved that band. He loved that song because his wife wrote the music. But when she said, baby, I want to hear my song, play my song, play my song, he said, I can't do it. She said, why? I can't do it. Why? Because somebody else owned the rights to it and I can't do it. That's when the Dallas Cowboys came in. Mr. Marshall said, hey, look, I will give you rights to play your wife's song if you give me my, I can't use that word Sunday, if you give me my darn football team, or words to that effect, you can put it in. So anyway, Marshall said, well, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And I want to go home tonight. So I'm going to give you your damn song, the rights to it. I'll pay for it. I just need a song. So what's the price? $600,000. Now keep in mind, Clint Murchison bought the song for $2,500. He made a little bit of a profit. He made a little bit of a profit from $2,500 to $600,000. He got the $600,000 to purchase the rights to have a football team in Dallas. Now you get the point. It's always about money. Always about money. So Clint Murchison basically funded the Dallas football team, which became the Dallas Cowboys, into existence. And ever since then, the Washington Redskins football team disliked the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, that's right. Over a song from $2,500 to $600,000, and then you had the rivalry of these two great storied franchises, the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Well, that's it, folks. I always like to drop a little knowledge around to you. Hey, check it out. Hope you like my new, just got it today, my new quarterback jersey. Well, we'll talk about a little bit more integration of Dallas sports later. You know, because I got a lot to talk about, obviously, as you can see. But you know what I wanted to talk about today, we just did. introduce the topic and drop it. The Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskins rivalry, well, it's over with. There are no more Redskins to play football with. They're all Commanders. But it's always more information out there that you did not know that you will find out when you're hanging out with me in the garage. Take care. See you guys later.